So hi everybody and welcome back. This is a full game tutorial for absolute beginners. This is video 14 and in this video I want to continue with the widget. We finished our widget functionality, but only the menu widget functionality, but our menu widget functionality is also the same like the gameplay functionality, but this one we make later. And here is again my overview. This one is almost finished, but there I want show you something, some performance things, not too much, only something, so that you can repeat this as well. And here is our plan. Like I said, we are finished with this, and in the next step we have to create a new list for the gameplay, how we start and how we want to go up, but probably we will start. We will see. We have to plan a little bit then how we make this, but that's aside. So we go back here to our thing, and I want to show you here some performance things. And I hope you remember that what we did so far in this tutorials. When we create a game, here is your game, and that is it's a representation of my game, more or less. But of course, here I have some other files as well. But what you can do all time is right click here to go to your game, right click this size map. I showed you this, and then you can see, okay, right now this size is around 600 kilobyte. That sounds very nice, but when I switch this one here, oh, there is a problem. And here is something. It is 5.6 megabyte. And this one is too big. I mean, this is the load memory. This can cause problems, and most time when you see these big numbers are most time textures. Like you can see here, I can click on it. You can see it is a texture. Indeed, it's a texture. And yeah, the reason why they are so big is because texture resolution are different from very low to very high. If you have a high resolution, for example, here, let's see what this 5.6 megabyte is. We can make here a right click, browse to asset. So this is the asset which I'm using right now. This here, which is probably not good. And it says here, I have made here a texture with 5 megabyte. So, and interesting is why it is using that. I have already created here something else and it's still using not this one. That's strange. Then we can click on this asset. Oops, not this one. Then we can click on, no, I clicked something wrong here. Anyway, again, we select this one here, right click, and then we go here to the reference fever and see what is referencing this one. Actually, that's very strange. I see nothing here, but it is still used. So why? Why is this used when I see nothing here? That's strange. Because I already replaced this one, I have changed this. This was used before. I changed that, and I want to show you how you can change normally this kind of asset here, 5 megabyte. This one is this here, and you can see the resolution is here just 1K, right? So if you have 2K, that would go up. If you have 4K, that would go even more up, something like 100 megabytes. And if you have 8K, then you can see that would even go much more up. But our goal is not go up. Our goal is go down, which means you can replace these textures. In this case, you can see this texture here is just this one here, this little symbol here. I don't need something 5 megabyte load symbol for this one. It is, I will not see it anyway, so I can reduce this. But before I reduce this, I'm very curious why this one is referenced, because normally it should be not referenced here. Normally this one should be used. That's a little bit strange. I made something wrong here. But anyway, we will see it. Let's go here, size map again. This is the asset which I showed you, and browse to asset. You go this one, you click double click, and then we want changes. The question is how we can change this, and all designers probably know I'm not a designer, so I watched a YouTube YouTube video tutorial, and I saw how he resized this one here. And what you do is just export this, for example. I just repeat that what I see, because I have no time, I have no clue. Perhaps there are better ways to resize this, but you can export this one here, this asset here, to your desktop. Where is the export here? Asset action. Let's click this one again, right click, and then go to asset action. And then here export, not migrate, this time export, because we are exporting it on my desktop in my case. And I exported this one here on my desktop in a special folder, and you can see it, I exported it already here. I show you this one where I did it. I exported it here, and this one is the original one. And when you export it, there is a problem. Perhaps I should show you this one. Let me go back this one again. Let me go here to export asset action. Export. And the problem is, let me go desktop again here. Not the problem, it's not really a problem. The point here is so let me show you what the point is. Here, this asset, I exported it, and it's called here tpos. But when you see here the data type, it is anything like TJA, and this TJA must be supported by your 3D software, which can manipulate pictures. For example, if you have Photoshop, then it must be support this one. Or if you have GIMP, I don't use Photoshop. I think Photoshop costs something. You have to pay. And I use instead GIMP. GIMP is free, so I learn a little bit this kind of stuff. I think it's similar, and then if this is supporting that, then you can use it. But instead, what I used is use this file here, which is BMP, which is Paint, and Paint is all time with Windows, right? And I showed you this Paint planning thing, and if you make this Paint here, then this BMP, then you can open up this file in Paint. I did this already. I just showed you this one here, because now I can close this one here and show you this one here, because if you export it, then you have something like that. And I open up this, I could open up this one with this one too, but here I open up this with Paint. The reason for that, it's very fast here. And you can see here is this file. It's too big. What I did is I just get here to, where is the resize? Here is resize. And then I said, okay, this is 100%. Let's make it 20%. Or you can even make it more. So resize this even more. Let's go here. I don't know. Let's make it here 50 now, because I have already. And then you can save this, and then you make a save something, and here again I save this most time back to PNG normally, so not in Paint, PNG, because PNG is compatible with your asset. So when you export it to the file which your 3D software supports, and I make it here in Paint because it's very fast, you can see. And then when I pack it again, I make it in PNG most time. I don't know if I have to, but PNG is supported by the content definitely, and that's why I make all time PNG. And then let's call this PNG version. Let's see, PNG, and I save this again on the desktop so we have access to it. So you can see here is this thing what I made here. I resized that, and now this one here, when I open this one up, it looks little, but now we can go back to our editor and we can import it, but there are different ways you can import it here with import and so, but it's faster when you have the file here. Here, tpos PNG, just drag and drop, and that's why I make it PNG. You can just drag and drop it directly in it, but you could also use here this import things. And yeah, now I have this imported file, and let's save this fast. This is for performance, and look at that, this PNG version. Where is this one? This one here. This has 56 kilobytes. So you can see I resized this, and let's compare it with this one. This one has 5 megabytes. So you can see with textures and all this resizing thing, you can just get much of performance. If you have problems with loading and so, then you have to check if your game has things like that which is not needed, and then you replace this. And of course, this is the next step. What we have to do, we have to replace it, because right now I have imported it, and normally I had replaced this, and I don't get it why it's not there, but I don't know. I know what I will do to know it, but I don't know why they don't do it. So let's see, we go here to the UI, we have to use this one. I have here this one, and here are some traps, not traps, you should consider when you do something like that. So first of all, what we do, we have here the symbol, and we are replacing this one. So let's replace, it says here T-pose resize. So normally it should be this one here. This other one, which I have here, not this one. I don't know why it is referencing this one. So let's use now my T-pose PNG, which is even lower than this T-pose resized. And when I compile this one and compile this, then you can go and check this, right click again, size map, and change this one here to memory size. And it looks like it says here, you see something strange here. It is still anyhow T-pose resized reference, because this one is also a reference fever, more or less, just in memory. All that what you can see here is referenced anyhow, but of course you can use also the reference. We learned this, I think, already. You can go here to the reference fever, and you can see this one here is used in game mode. Yes, I have set this in the game mode. That was this place. Oh, we will go to the game mode in a moment, or here. Well, let's dock this here on top, so that's not here. Here it's the game mode. I am, let's see, where I call this one. Here, it's the widget blueprint, but I have not. Yes, I have created this widget blueprint menu. You can see it is here in the game mode. Here I create this one. And this one is referencing now all this kind of stuff. Interesting is it is referencing also, I don't know why, this one here. I have here a hard reference to this one. And actually, I don't know why. This one is normal, resized, and what's very strange is I have no reference actually. Oh, wait a second. This is my T-pose PNG. That's normal. That is my T-pose resize. That's also normal. The thing what it's not normal, what I want to show you, is this one here. When we go to game and go here to size map, and we have this one here, and it says anywhere this one is resized. This one here, we had this before. That was a little bit irritating, right? This T, where is that? Okay, this one should be not here, because I wanted to get rid of this one, and it says here, it says T-pose is anywhere referenced, because I replaced it. We can do something like that. Then browse to asset again, and normally what you do is right click and say, okay, we can use size map. There is, oh, not size map in this case. We go here and click again reference fever, and the reference fever is showing us nothing. So I don't understand how this one is referenced here, but perhaps there is a variable or something like that. But even if it's a variable, it should be shown here. So the reference fever is normally an indicator if is something referencing, and that's strange here a little bit. This one is, oops, not migrate, that we will do later. This size map here. And when I go here, memory, this 5T pause should be not here. I don't know where it is, perhaps I see it, but what I will do is I will just kick out this texture, and then I will see if it's there or not. And that is my solution, because I have not I don't know where it is, but what I know is I have replaced this one, right? I have now this texture. I make this super tiny texture now, I assigned it there. There's one more mistake, but I will show you this one. This was a trap, what I said, so careful about that. But first of all, this one should be not here. There is no references, which means normally I can kick this out. And you can see when I make delete, it says, if there would be a reference, it would say here, it is referenced anywhere. And that's why I'm a little bit irritated here, but I kick it out. Now it's it. And when you kick this kind of stuff out all time, make a submit to the source control before you kick something out, so you can recover it if it's totally broken. So don't forget this. In my case, it's too late. I committed anyway, but I think it's too late now. So anyway, so the point is now it's not here, right? Now it's definitely kicked out. So let's try this again. I go size map. I go here this memory, and yes, this 5 MB is anyhow not here. And I don't know where it was referenced, but it is no more here, because now my game is here. You can see there are still some textures which are big. So for example, this one has 300. Actually, when you see something like kilobytes textures, don't care about this one. Most time this is considered to be nothing. But when you see some megabytes or even 100 megabytes, then you have to do something, because that is expensive. When you see kilobytes, all time think about this, kilobytes is most time nothing. But in my case, my super texture, let's check our super texture here, what I created. And let's go to the UI again. Let's check this widget actually, because this widget here separately use my texture, right? And let's check this one. Size map, okay. Memory, and oh, where is my 50K texture? It's here, but what is that? We have here still the herd billboard. Here I have still this post resized, and this was the little thing what you should consider, what I said, that sometimes this can happen, because here I replaced this one, right? Here with this one. The problem is I replaced this one here. The problem is it can still be in a variable referenced, or in this case, we have here other places. For example, hovered. This one is normal. Hovered. And then you have to replace this here too. And that's why we have this two references here. Normally I would have this 58 kilobyte texture, and not this. You can see this is 4 times almost like this one, more than 4, yes, something like that. And this is still considered to be nothing, but I can use this one. I want only this one. This one is just a waste again. This is just for optimization, performance, and if you make a desktop, you will make also performance, but then in another way, because this one what I show you here is just so you don't need here a big size. You have to know when you can replace something or not. Let's do this fast. So let's go to this one. I said go here, and let's go to hovered here. I should go here. I should go here. Now I have this replaced, and this one will cause probably again a problem. And then I can check if this one here is referenced anywhere. This should be not referenced anywhere. Reference means it is used, it will be loaded. And when I go here to the reference viewer, first of all, I can go directly to the reference viewer. Here I can include this one. Perhaps I check this other things. No, there is nothing. All right, that's good. Here is nothing referenced anymore. And when I go now to the texture again, no, not to the texture, to my widget again here, and check this size map again, and change this one here, and let's see if this is replaced in memory. It is not. It is replaced or not. T pause PNG. This is only this one. It is gone. That's good. And after you finish this one, what you can do is, after you are sure, you could even kick this one out, this other one, what you don't need, because this one is our development account, but still it should be clean because we are testing here also code and then sending it later to the other one, and then there we make the final test. Here we test it only in editor, and in the other one we make the final test, which means I kick now this one out. First you should go for source control if you want to be sure that something is happen. Let's make it, why not, submit, and I make it now very fast. And so there are other things as well, but right now not very important. Save check because deleting, save check because deleting asset, just something like that. So that's enough, and later I can fetch this, but right now I have saved it in my local hard driver. Later I can use the get this desktop and send it to the server, but I make this later because I want to show you. First of all, now I can kick it out. I have this one saved. Which one we kick out? This one we don't need, and it is not reference. Okay. And like all time, we clean this one with this right click fix up. So this one is nice. And yeah, you can see now when I right click this one, I made also optimization a little bit. And normally you should learn optimization. Let's see this one. Optimization, you should optimize your project if you have knowledge about it during the development, so not at the end. That's very important. In my case, I have not so much knowledge as well, but what I optimize it most time here, textures. I'm not a designer, I don't know what they do most times, but when I see here big megabytes, probably what I do most time is when I see megabytes, then I check this, what is this megabyte loading things, and then I check if I really need it, and if not. In this case, you see I reduced from 5 megabyte to this texture here because it was absolutely not needed here. This little symbol was 5 megabyte, and now look what I have. I have here 60 kilobytes now. So this is a good performance boost, I would say. Even perhaps we would not even realize this when I make this as a desktop. Perhaps we would not even realize this as a mobile because it depends all time on the impact overall. But still, it is optimized, it is reduced, and this kind of stuff you can make if you have optimization. You should do normally, like I said, really not make at the end. You make it during the thing, during the development, and that's also important. And that's why I showed you this kind of stuff. But if your time is short, then perhaps you can optimize later. But in general, you should optimize during the code. And here, of course, there is also graph optimization. If you have knowledge about graph optimization, for example, if you say, hey, is this the best way? In my case, I have no knowledge. I mean, in my case, I say this one is already optimized enough for me. Because there is no cast, I make no functions, because if I would make for everything a function, what many programmers do, because with functions you have all time encapsulated, it's a separate function call, right? This one is not a separate function call. That's why I use this one as well, and it's handy. You can go switch, and the code is also not too big, so this one is optimized for me enough. And of course, you can check later GPU profiles and if stuff like that. But with that said, we have to do one more step. And I want to show you this one as well. Here are still test code things here, which are not really needed. This one is cleaned up. You see, I kicked out all the things. And of course, test first here in editor. Let's see. Yes, it's falling down. Oops, let's quit again. Let's start again. Let's make another position perhaps, so that later I have to define the player start. That's why I make this one right now. So here I stop. Here the cube is stop. Its game is paused. Perfect. And play. It's falling. Yes, it works. And quit. So far, all functionality it works. Performance, yes. And now the thing what I want to show you here as well is when you make this widget, at least this UI. we want to migrate to my final to my final to my final project, right, where I release it and test it and pack it and test it. I want pack it there and test it there to see the end result. But the problem is this one, it exists there, and my last try, I think there was a problem. We can do this one. Let me show you this. Right click, asset action, and then you would go for migrate. And this kind of files you have, let's try to do this one more time. If there is a problem, so I go here to the other project. In my case, I jump to desktop. Where is this? Desktop. Then here to, where is that? Oh no, not desktop, sorry. Documents. It's most time in documents if you have not changed it. And then you find your main, this project. Okay, it's here. Then very important all time when you migrate, you have to go to to content, and then you select content, and then you select this, and here is this message which caused problem, and that already exists at location and it says here, would you override it? And I said yes, all normally, no all. And when you make here, you can make here cancel. Yes, you can make here cancel, and instead what you can do here is this asset, because you want just replace this asset here, right? You go to your final project. Let me go there. Is this one? Yeah, no, it's not. This is the Endless Runner. It's still open up there. This might get desktop. Where I go? Okay. This one is my main. All right, here you have this widget, and I'm just replacing this one, right? So what you have to do, of course, before you do something, again, source control, submit, because now I want to kick out this one. Let's do this one too. And I think I mentioned that I created 2 accounts, right? 2 repositories, and here you have, this one is anyway saved. This one is anyway saved on your local hard drive, which means later you can submit it. But it is first saved on your hard drive, and you have to use Git desktop to make it on the server. But I think I make this a little later. And now what I do is here just delete this one. And the problem is here, when you delete something like that, what I do, it says it is referenced by game mode. Normally you could try this replace all, but sometimes it causes problem. That's why I just say force delete. I know it is just the game mode which is not made. And then what I do is now I migrate it from here, from this other one, which is this one here. This is what I want. And now let's see if it's working. Perhaps it's worked this way. I'm not so sure. I never tested this. I mean, it can work because now, all right, the problem is we have here still these textures and all the other things. You can deselect this one, and end game state, deselect this one. Perhaps deselect this one at all. And this one you can't select. Deselect, we have to use this one. Because we need this one. So the other things you deselect, and then you make this one, and then here is the content, very important. This is my final. I take this, and now you see it made it without problems there. But I don't know if you have to use this. Normally the other thing replace all works, but I don't know what there was. But if it's not working, this is another way, just in case, and then you switch to your other project. Now it is here, but if you delay this, there is one bad thing. Like I said, we have to set this one here up again, which is this one. That was here the problem. Normally replace all is better. Here I have manually set up the widget menu again, compile save. Then I have to here, okay, here are my final data. Here is something else. What is that? It says here blueprint failed to compile. That is all time bad. Oh. equal enium. I have not created here the enium. All right, that was bad. I should migrate the enium as well. I deselected the enium, which I thought I have it already here. That was a bad thing. No. Okay, let's migrate it. Which the other thing which I have to migrate here as well is you can deselect this one, deselect this one. I thought I had this one here, this enium gate, and that was not the case. And now I migrated this one. Now I can go back it, and now I can go here. And I don't know if they are doing this one. No, they are doing not, because they have not this one here. No. So when you messed up like me, what you can do is one by one, but sometimes there are more errors to do one by one. So what you can do is, instead doing one is just delete it again. Yeah, that's probably faster, because this one we will just get it anyway. This is again this game mode. Yes, you can be deleted. Let's buy. And here is this enium. This was that what I needed. I thought this was here already. And now save this. Save all. Let's go back one more time. But you see how fast this is. This is not so that it takes really long time. And now I can right click, asset, action, migrate. And here is it. And this one I don't need now. Now I don't need them. And I need just this one now. And here, content, that's it. We have it. We go back, we switch that. But you see again, when you mess up like me, oops, this is the wrong content. It takes then so much time. But let's see if this one is working. We have to go to the game mode again, because I know I have to set this up. Here I select this one again. I compile. And you can see now it worked, because this widget now has this enium. The best thing is, when you migrate, probably delete all other files. It is even better. Or replace all if it works. So you can try. Yeah, so perhaps you can test it on your own and decide on your own. It's better. But you normally what you do is migrate, and then if this says it exists already, then replace. And that worked normally, but I had a problem, and that's why I wanted to show you here. And probably the best way is the other way. If you want not replace all, you just go in and delete really all this kind of files which you migrate, and migrate it from here, because here it's tested, and this kind of stuff is needed in this widget. So don't use that what I made for but I don't know if these other things are not already reference. That's why this is another question. So perhaps it's not a good idea to delete all the other things, because when this texture here is needed in this widget, but it's also referenced in another widget, that's why I delete only that what I really need. I think that's the reason why I should just do this one normally. Okay. I think you know what I mean, and you can figure it out probably better. Normally the other one works. Test it. If it's worked for you, nice. And the last thing, what of course is packaging, but that I make again offline. So because now this one is finished, we can go here. This is not this one. It's all the time the wrong one. This is the main. Here you go again. Now you have integrated it. You have tested it. And here is our symbol missing. Already our symbol is missing. Interesting. Why is there a symbol missing? Because we changed that. But let's see. Okay, we have already a problem. You can see we figured something out, which is not normal. Here, this symbol is missing. Style. And I have to check here also this widget hour size map. Let me go and see. See, heard, okay, this one. And Oh, I don't know. This one is not assigned to it. Now I get it. So this one is not assigned. This picture here is not assigned. All right, that's bad. I thought it was. But it's not assigned, then we make it. That's why the symbol is here missing. And the bad thing is here, oh my god, my resize version is also not here because I have deleted this one. So double bad. Which means, oh crap. You can see this little crabs, what happens. Oh my god, and I waste time again, whatever. Which means I have replaced this one. So this time I know it, and then that's why I just migrate this one directly. So don't click when you know exactly what you know, just migrate exactly that what you need. Asset action, migrate this one. And okay, and this time I go here and it's done. Then we go here. It is edit here in textures. You can see this, and this T pause I kick out. It is reference, but I don't care. And now I can use this one here, open this one up, and to use this one here in, I have not selected this, of course I have to select this texture here, this one, okay, I could also click there, but okay. And this should be okay. All right. And now I have compile, save. This is my final file. This should be not wrong, really not, because I will test it. So let's test this here. Here I have not my test cube, and so that I don't want. Normally it should work all fine here so far. Yeah, what we have to do is we have to pack this now, and that I make offline again. But before we pack anything, submit here, because now I have here, let's write here finished menu widget blueprint. This is enough for me. So this is the point where of course you should give there more description, more accurate. In this case it's just for demonstration purposes. In my case it's okay. And yeah, at this point I would go now to packaging, because I would go here, I can, but I will stop here the video. But what you do normally now is here in your final project, you go here packaging. You can make this one. You can also test this one for the shipping if you have set it up. Test it for shipping, because then you have the shipping packaging as well. In my case, I make it fast for this one, and then package project. And here, yes, you can make this one. It's my test. Yes, it's packaging there now. So, and here I stop because this I make now offline. You can test your code on yourself. And this is the packaging, means all time the test. This is the final files which you want released later. And if there is a problem, then we have a problem, because then you should solve that. All right. I think I stop also with this video here, and in the next video we will start with our gameplay. This is the next block, this big block here. You can see my easy overview. This block is finished. You see my packaging is also finished, but we will go here to gameplay. I will create again a list what I have for task, and I do this. By the way, let's see, here's the package, and I don't know if this is the same. Now I overwrite this one, or why I put it in the same file, I don't know. So here is this, I press X, let's test this fast. And yeah, here, okay, let's see, pause. We can't test this now really, but I think it works. And yeah, here we can't not really test it, but at least all the functionality seems to work, and later when we add a gameplay it will work. And here is the packaging for this one. All right, that was a little bit to performance check, a little bit asset migration, and wasting a little bit more time, and to show you that yeah, it can cause problems, and then you have all time fixing. And when you make something like a limited time project, then you can see you should be a little bit training this, that it is more automated. Automated means that you have not to waste time like me. A workflow, more concentrated, but careful, this causes also more stress. So normal game development is more a long run where you should plan very much pauses, make it relaxed so that you can work without a burnout in a long run and don't get overpowered. With that said, if you have any questions or any complaints like all time, write it in the comments and see us in the next video where we start with our gameplay, because this is we won't finish this game. I hope you make something else. You don't have to make something so simple like me. You can make something much more complicated, a desktop application with more graphics, more nice assets, but that costs most time more, also more work. I mean, you have to spend most time also a little bit more work than me, because there you have to optimize more to but you can do it. Don't give up. Just follow a tutorial, try to realize your ideas, and that will work. So with that said, if you have any questions, any complaints, any tips and tricks like all time, write it in the comments, and like all time, have fun and don't give up, and bye.